But they don't want it to work. He just told you, I'm stopping the administration. He just said it to you,
You don't know. You don't.
He just said it.
That was one person.
He's the head.
That's one person.
He's the leader.
Democratic Senator Joe Manchin got absolutely rocked by CNN's Chris Cuomo in a rare case of cable news actually doing their job. Now, this is over Manchin's unwillingness to reform the filibuster, claiming that Democrats can work with Republicans in a bipartisan way, even though Republicans have shown no interest at all. And I'll get to more on that in a minute. First, I want to show you this clip where Chris Cuomo just rocks Joe Manchin and really has no idea how to reply to this.
Look, in all due respect to your party, I don't think you guys play power politics as well as the other side. And I think that if you were to get rid of the filibuster, McConnell would use it against you guys when he gets back in power, and it's only a matter of time, in a way that you never even thought of using it. So I hear you on that.
Well, he could use it already.
But I'm just saying, Senator, right now you have infrastructure, you have needs for families, you have a lot of gross deficits that you're dealing with. There's a chance that you get none of it passed. Forget about, background checks or anything like that.
Let's see what we've done already, Chris.
Yes, sir.
Look what we've done. $1.9 trillion. Look what we did last year in all bipartisan way. Look what we've done this year. We didn't do it with a bipartisan way, but we did it because it needed to be done with the pandemic that we had. We did it at $1.9 trillion.
But you didn't do it bipartisan.
Input from the, no, we had a process of bipartisanship to a certain extent.
But then there were no votes.
There would have been more, but there wasn't. But there was one. Well, we never. We didn't try. We had some votes as far as in the
but they went through the reconciliation process, Senator, as you know. You went through reconciliation because they weren't going to work with you on it.
All right. I mean, the bottom line here is Democrats will not retain power if they don't do more to actually help people. And in order to help people, to get things passed, they need to reform or get rid of the filibuster, which Joe Manchin is against. Cuomo here is exactly right, pointing out the power politics part of this, where Republicans will use their power in ways that Democrats can't even imagine. Can you imagine the current Democratic Party nominating and pushing through a Supreme Court justice in the final weeks of an election? And that was after, so the GOP did that with Amy Coney Barrett. That was after they denied Obama his Supreme Court pick in the final year of his term. Democrats would never even imagine of doing any of that. The tiniest bit of pressure they feel from media, they fold immediately. Republicans do not care. And here they are, not even willing, or at least Manchin, not even willing to reform the filibuster. And of course, it's because he's corrupt, he's conservative. He basically is a Republican in sheep's clothing. So any argument he brings up here is just a way to distract from the reality. I mean, Manchin says here, quote, "Look at what we've done, Chris, 1.9 trillion. Yeah, the American Rescue Plan, which you didn't get a single Republican vote for, despite the fact that Manchin himself helped to strip the bill down, cutting unemployment benefits and fighting against the wage increase. Even after doing that, did not get a single vote from a Republican. But this is Joe Manchin's way of doing politics. Fold, 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 and still not get a single vote from the other side. Now, before I get to the second clip here, this is what Mitch McConnell recently said. 100%, McConnell's 100% of his focus is on blocking Biden's agenda. So Mitch McConnell, similar to his approach to Barack Obama, does not want to help Biden pass anything. This is coming from the minority leader. Here's what, and Chris Cuomo references this, and they discuss it.
Joe Biden has got more done in 100 days.
But not with them.
Any president in my time that I can recall.
Not with them.
Basically, he got more done. He's put a plan out there, and he got more done.
But not with them.
We got it done, okay? And
but
we're
not
moving
with
in the right
them.
direction.
Not with them.
But you've heard Joe Biden. He wants it to work. It will work.
But they don't want it to work. He just told you, I'm stopping the administration. He just said it to you,
You don't know. You don't.
He just said it.
That was one person.
He's the head.
That's one person.
He's the leader.
He's not controlling all of that, I can assure you.
Look how quickly Joe Manchin folds when pushed just a little bit. He has no response to this. He's just, what did Manchin say there? He's just one person. He's the minority leader. He's the leader of the GOP. This is their agenda. They don't want to help Biden at all. But Manchin's still here pretending there's a way to work with Republicans in a bipartisan fashion. And Manchin's quote here, but you heard Joe Biden, he wants it to work. Oh, Joe Biden wants it to work. That doesn't mean shit when you're dealing with a party that simply does not care. Now, in the last clip here, Cuomo brings up a great point about representation, and Manchin says something incredibly stupid once again.
I don't know that they envisioned where you are in the Senate today, where you guys are 50-50, but 50 on the right are representing about 20% of the country. It's so skewed, and that 20% has such extreme views that's why you have this party in disarray the way it is. You have 70% of the Republican Party saying that Trump won, that Biden didn't win. You really think that's the kind of setup where they'll work with you?
Well, that's a horrible situation, and basically the extremes on both sides. There's people on both sides saying that we have 20% on each side or 30% on each side that's extreme. Okay, with that being said, you've got to find the middle. The middle's been eroded.
Okay, I'll get to Manchin's bullshit in a second here. But first, Cuomo brings up a point that really needs to be brought up more often in the mainstream press. Despite holding 50 seats in the Senate, Republicans represent only 20% of voters. And that minority of voters is completely out of their mind. This is holding up any and all progress because half the Senate represents a minority of people in the country, nothing is getting done. And Manchin goes into defensive mode as if he's a Republican here, saying, quote, there's 20 or 30% on each side that's extreme. Imagine if the Democratic Party denied that Trump won the 2016 election. Imagine if Obama called it the big lie when Trump won. Imagine Obama held a rally at the White House, encouraging supporters to pressure Vice President at the time, Biden, to overturn the result. And then they stormed the Capitol and broke in with weapons and ties and or cuffs and all the stuff they had there. Imagine any of that happened, but that was Democrats and not Republicans. How can Manchin possibly pretend that there's a similar extreme on the left to what is happening on the right? The Republican base doesn't believe that Biden won the election. That is batshit insane. On the other side, you have the Democratic Party base that wants everyone to have health care and a living wage. These two are apparently the same thing to Joe Manchin. He is a corrupt piece of garbage.